So we can't use the same safety inductions. We have to go and do a separate induction to get into our industry because the hazards that we need to understand are different. And then, of course, when we get on site, we go into specific site inductions that cover the hazards applicable to that site and safe work procedures applicable to that site. The mining companies will want to know, has the person got the relevant safety induction? Are they available immediately, you know, within a few weeks? Are you ready to go? Have they had a police check? When you do a police check, it goes for the last 10 years. Prices took off in 2003. Wages have increased by 24.2%. Male and female workers get the same rates of pay, and a haul truck driver can earn in excess of $100,000 a year. We'll go into pays in detail later, but it's, generally speaking, it'd be fairly unusual for somebody working on a mine site. West Australia is, for the obvious, there's 273 major mining projects in Australia, and 43% of those are in West Australia. These figures are provided by the Minerals Council of Australia, and links to run through these. The mining industry, they need exploration drillers. So what sort of character is an exploration driller? It's somebody who's a bit of a gypsy by nature, doesn't mind working out there in the scrub, out there in remote areas. Typically there will be a main driller, then the driller will have a driller's offsider, known as a driller's labourer or a driller's assistant. So that's where you come in. You can apply, subject to certain requirements, which we'll explain. You can apply for a job as a driller's labourer, a driller's assistant as it's known, a driller's offsider. They all mean the same thing. Now what will happen is you'll have the driller driving out there in the scrub, maybe he's driving the drill rig. One of the driller's assistants, who must have a heavy rigid truck licence, might be driving what they call the rod truck. So this truck's got all the rods which will be attached to the drill rig, which will drill the holes into the ground. The purpose of the exploration drillers is to drill holes into the ground several hundred metres deep, from which they take core samples out. And so they'll take a long sample, often a cylindrical sample of the Earth's core at whatever depth they're aiming for, and those samples will then be taken off to an area known as the core farm, and it'll be analysed by geologists and mining people, mining engineers and so on, and geologists, so they can work out where the next mine site would be, or try and determine if there's a viable ore body there that they can develop a new mining operation. Because as they're digging a hole and digging the ground and opening the pit up and running a full operational mine, say in one area, when that runs out, when it finishes its economic growth, they come up all that often. There's not a plethora of jobs in the major mining newspapers. However, all these little bits and pieces add up to opportunities if you keep looking all the time. You with me? You might just see that they need a water card operator, and you've got